Published 1814 Eastern Standard Time, the 24th of February 2018. Updated 1802 Eastern Standard Time, the 25th of February 2018. A young couple who clocked up 100,000 kilometers traveling around Australia in a humble van have revealed what life on the road is really like when you are living completely off the grid. Cleo Codrington and her boyfriend Mitch Cox, both aged 24, have been living permanently in their cozy 2002 Toyota Hiace for more than 3 years. Driving wherever the sun takes them, the pair have woken up every morning to Australia's most stunning views. From eating tinned tuna and watering down milk to showering out of a sink, the Sydney duo shared the reality behind their seemingly perfect nomadic lifestyle. Cleo Codrington and her boyfriend Mitch Cox, both aged 24, have been living an adventurous life on the road in a van. The Sydney couple converted their cozy 2002 Toyota Hiace into a permanent house on wheels, traveling wherever the sun takes them. The pair have woken up every morning to Australia's stunning views. Picture de la Rue. We wanted to leave and do the things that people later regretted not doing earlier in their lives, Cleo told Daily Mail Australia. We both had schooling and strict timetables for more than 15 years. Jumping into 9 to 5 Monday to Friday jobs seemed absurd. We didn't have time, jobs, children, a mortgage or any commitments holding us back. It was the perfect time for us. The duo met in their final year of studying graphic design at university in 2014 and they quick found a mutual love for travel. Mitch and I met while studying at university. We were both living at our homes in Sydney whilst juggling casual retail jobs with our study, she said. Mitch had just bought a van and we started to do 2-week trips up and down the east coast of Australia, and that was it. We were hooked. We decided to hit the road and explore Australia for about a year. A year of travelling ended up turning into 2 and then 3, and now we are on our 4th year and it has been one big adventure. The adventurous couple have been living off the grid for more than 3 years, a lifestyle that has been an eye-opener, sharing their postcard-like snapshots on Instagram. The photographs are all perfectly arranged, beauty set up when the pair embarked on their trip. They lived on a strict budget. At first it was all about budgeting, buying rice and tuna from supermarkets and watering down milk. We also cut down on expensive habits like going out for dinner and shopping, Cleo said, but a year's worth of casual work savings can only go so far. We still budget just as much now as we did when we started. We limit the amount we go out for dinner, and try to stick to the cheaper meals whilst on the road. We cook all our meals from scratch, and when we can, we cook all our meals on a campfire, such as saving us costs for gas cooking. It makes our trip more of an adventure. The couple have made it possible to sustain their adventures by selling their spectacular photographs to tourism companies, earning anywhere between $200 to $3,000. We quit our part-time jobs after saving a bit, and were savvy with budgeting. Crazy how little money you can spend when it's necessary, Cleo said. 4 years on and we are starting to earn a little on the road, which keeps us going. We are working with tourism companies to sell our photos and working with some brands while traveling, which is amazing. When Mitch sells images to tourism companies, it can range from $200 per image up to $700 per image, depending on licensing. Most companies or areas buy several images for a package deal. He has also just started getting more into film and videography, which requires a lot more work but also pays a lot better when licensing to companies. When we work with tourism on location, it's usually for a certain amount of posts on our social accounts showing off that particular area. For these we both get paid a lump sum which can range $500 to $3,000 depending on the required amount of photos and the location or area we are promoting. The work puts a bit of money in the bank, and we are able to keep on funding our travels and feeding ourselves, which is all we could ever want or need. The couple have made it possible to sustain their adventures by selling their spectacular photographs to tourism companies since living life on the road. The young couple said their off-the-grid lifestyle has been eye-opening to the real world since living life on the road. The young couple said their off-the-grid lifestyle has been eye-opening to the world. Seeing more of our own country was definitely one of the main reasons we started traveling in the van, but without even trying, we achieved something just as important, which was learning to live more simply, she said. Seeing more of our own country was definitely one of the main reasons we started traveling in the van, but without even trying, we achieved something just as important, which was learning to live more simply. Being back in homes that have more than one room after living in such a small space makes you realize just how much unnecessary C***P people own, or even how much C***P we own. I always end up raiding my room at my parents' house and end up giving away a lot of my old older clothes and belongings, you realize how happy you are without it all, and if you haven't thought about it in over a year, it must not be worth keeping. We are also much more careful with water usage and electricity. We can only carry so much water, so washing up in a size sink and a running tap is a luxury. We have just about all our favorite personal belongings in our home, and all the essentials. From cooking equipment, a fridge, books, our kayak, snorkeling gear, camera gear, clothes and our solar panel which lets us travel off the grid. It's about not taking the smaller things for granted and realizing how little you need in life to be truly happy and healthy. The pair said their nomadic lifestyle has taught them not to take small things for granted. Pictured, Yosemite National Park. The couple have made it possible to sustain their adventures by selling their spectacular photographs to tourism companies. So what's it really like to live the life behind the cameras? If anything, photos just don't do it justice, Cleo said. For us, the photographs just come with the adventures, not the other way around. Every day isn't picture perfect, but every day we enjoy and love what we do, and that's the most important thing to us, that we are healthy and happy. Every day isn't picture perfect, but every day we love what we do, and that's the most important thing to us, that we are healthy and happy. And like any relationship, the couple do face their own challenges, especially being around each other 24 hours, 7 days a week. Living on top of each other 24/7 definitely takes a toll. It's not just living together and going off to our separate jobs in the day. We don't even have that time away from each other, Cleo said, laughing. I think you just have to make sure you get enough time to yourself and set time in the day to focus on the things you love doing. For Mitch, he loves surfing, which is not my forte, so when he's out catching some waves I go for a run or sit in the van and draw. Having that time allows us both to still appreciate each other's company every other day, which is so important. Sharing their postcard-like snapshots on Instagram. The photographs are all perfectly arranged, beauty setup. The duo have been traveling around Australia in a van while exploring the world, living off a grid for more than 3 years. Sharing their postcard-like snapshots on Instagram. The photographs are all perfectly arranged, beauty setup. Taking photos has always been a passion of Mitch's, and there's rarely a moment where his camera isn't in his hand or his bag, Cleo said. Even long before Instagram, Mitch was sharing his photographs with friends on Facebook and printing them for his own pleasure. I think that's the secret behind capturing our adventures and our images. It's out of pure enjoyment. Mitch is always snapping away when the light is just right and we are at an amazing landscape or location. But often some of the most amazing places we have seen with our eyes aren't the most photogenic either, so the perfect shot for us is just one that captures a place that we love, a moment we shared together that we will remember for the rest of our lives. Every day isn't picture perfect, but every day we love what we do, and that's the most important thing to us, Cleo said. The young couple, both aged 24, have been living permanently in their cozy 2002 Toyota Hiace for more than 3 years. Social media can often portray the happy side of traveling, so how do the couple enjoy the moment? I think the most important and crucial aspect is to genuinely enjoy and love what you are doing, she said. You have to remember that Instagram isn't going to be around forever. If it was deleted tomorrow, would that change the way you are living and experiencing life now? If yes, then you probably aren't genuinely happy. I think so many people get caught up in the social media aspect of travel and don't get to actually enjoy the moment for themselves, and that should never be the case. We feel so lucky every day to witness so many beautiful places across Australia, so that's why we look like we're having a good time in photos. For the past 3 years, the pair have explored nearly every corner of Australia. Their next stop is Western Australia. The couple have made it possible to sustain their adventures by selling their spectacular photographs to tourism companies, and while the pair have been pictured in their seemingly perfect snaps on social media, Cleo said they were always enjoying the moment, and creating content at amazing locations was just a bonus. Traveling has always been more than that to us. To experience a location is to stay for sunset with a packed picnic, to take in our surroundings, to hike to an unknown campsite and spend a few nights in the wilderness. Just enjoy the moment and take in your surroundings. That has always and will always be our #1 priority. If we just so happen to capture a couple of snaps to remember those great times, then that's awesome, she said. We have never hiked, driven or gone to a location to just take a photo. Too many times on our travels, especially the more touristy locations, you witness tourists come and go so quickly. To look at a landscape, or an attraction, pose and take a photo and then leave. Traveling has always been more than that to us. To experience a location is to stay for sunset with a packed picnic, to take in our surroundings, to hike to an unknown campsite and spend a few nights in the wilderness. It has never been about just the photos, and it will never be. It's much more intricate and special than that. The travelers said they were always enjoying the moment, and creating content at amazing locations was just a bonus. For the past 3 years, the pair have explored nearly every corner of Australia. We have pretty much explored every state thoroughly minus Western Australia. By thorough I mean we have spent a decent amount of time exploring off the beaten tracks in every other state, she said. Less popular spots found down random dirt roads in the middle of nowhere are what make traveling on the road an adventure. There are so many hidden gems out there that tourists haven't even heard of. It's an awesome feeling knowing your own country that well. The couple said they don't have any plans to settle down anytime soon. Traveling is definitely something we hope to do for as long as we can, as neither of us are in any rush to settle down just yet. Cleo said, we are both beyond content with our current lifestyle, although I suspect one day we will want to start a family and have a base of our own, but I can't imagine giving up on the van. It will always be a massive part of our lives and who we are, even if the trips aren't as often and aren't as long. The duo met in their final year of studying graphic design at university in 2014, and they quick found a mutual love for travel. For those who are keen to leave the rat race to go traveling time, Cleo said, stop planning, and just do it. So what's the next stop? We are actually currently in Sydney for a couple of weeks and have been here catching up with family and friends since Christmas, which has been really nice. We are also lucky that we both have amazing parents residing in Sydney. It's a lot knowing you have somewhere you can go for support, a shower and a decent meal when you truly need it. We are finishing up the conversion of our new home, a slightly bigger Toyota commuter, which we bought early this year. Then we are back on the road as we head for the last stop on our Australian must-see list, Western Australia. For those who are keen to leave the rat race to go traveling time, Cleo said, stop planning, and just do it, as well as learning things for yourself along the way. The best advice I could give is now is as good a time as any. The perfect opportunity doesn't always arise. Sometimes you have to make it for yourself, she said. Once you have the vehicle and some funds to help you along the way, the rest will fall into place.